Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Ali Qureshi, and today I want to talk to you guys about a very special time for Muslims that's coming up, and that's Ramadan. So first of all, I want to say Ramadan Mubarak or Ramzan Mubarak to all my fellow Muslims out there. Uh, in this video, I want to talk to you guys about how we can maintain all the muscle mass that we currently have on our physique during Ramadan. So as you guys know, Ramadan is a month of fasting. And when we fast, we consume significantly less calories. And for most people, consuming more less calories means more weight loss. And when you lose weight, you generally tend to lose muscle as well. For the most part, there are exceptions to this rule. But today I want to talk about how we can sustain that muscle. So I'm going to be going through 5 different techniques or things that you can do to make sure you keep those hard-earned gains. Tip number one to maintain all the muscle you've accumulated during Ramzan or Ramadan is to hydrate well. Everybody knows how important water is for overall health, well being, and the fact that it makes up about 70% of our muscle mass. So we need to make sure that we're consuming enough water, roughly 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, um, to make sure that we don't lose any muscle mass and overall we're hydrated and that we're not going through any phases of dehydration. Now, the second tip that I can give you guys about maintaining muscle during Ramadan is I want you guys to not focus on bulking or cutting or going through any different program like that. I think during the month of Ramadan, the most important thing that we can do is just go to the gym and train as hard as you can. So yeah, just go to the gym, train as hard as you can. Make sure you are recovering before you're training again, and that means make sure you're sleeping well and make sure you're getting enough protein in your diet. Again, it's going to be hard to get 1 gram per body weight protein. So maybe aim for something like 0.5 grams or to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. Now, when I talk about training during Ramadan, I would advise, and I would strongly advise that you train after breaking your fast. Now, I know this might not be possible for some people based on their timings or based on the time they have to break their fast or the timings at the gym. But if you can do this, I think you should train after breaking your fast. What that does is it gives your body some calories, it gives your body some glucose and some glycogen and some energy to go to the gym and actually be able to work out. Now, I would say try to aim for working out about an hour after breaking your fast. You don't want to have all that food and then go to the gym right away. So maybe break your fast and then wait an hour and a half if you can, and then head to the gym and try to do a relatively intense workout. Now, it won't be easy for most people and it'll take some time to get used to it, but I think maybe after a week or 10 days, your body will adapt and you will be able to actually have a good quality workout. But just make sure that you're working out if you can after breaking your fast. So when you actually get a chance to go to the gym, the next thing I would advise is that you make sure you're dropping your volume. Now, if you're doing, say, 15 reps for your push day, so your pushing movements, I want you to drop the amount of sets to like 8 to 10. So almost, like a 40 to 50% decrease in the amount of volume you're actually doing. The reason I'm saying this is because when you don't have enough calories and you're not consuming enough protein, but you keep your training volume the same, that might actually lead to long-term atrophy in the muscle. Because remember, when you overuse the muscle and you overtrain the muscle without adequate calories and without adequate protein, you're actually doing more harm than good. And in this state during Ramzan, where you have much less calories for the most part for most people, unless you're just eating like crazy during suhoor and iftar, um, you usually have less calories than you have on a daily basis. So you have much less calories and you usually have much less protein. So what that means is your muscles cannot repair themselves. So if you continue working out just as hard as you were before, In the long run, it's going to damage the muscle. It might lead to injuries, and it might actually lead to muscle atrophy. And my last point is, when you're working out at the gym, focus on the basics. When I say basics, I mean focus on the compound movements. So these movements actually will give you the most bang for your buck. Remember, you have, when you're in Ramadan, you have limited calories, so you probably have limited energy. So you can't work out as hard as you usually do. You probably also are not getting as enough water as you usually do. So your training intensity won't last as long as it usually does during regular days. So I want you to just focus on the basics. So if you're hitting chest, for example, I want you to focus on something like the bench press. I want you to focus on something like dips, and maybe if you have time, dumbbell bench press. Um, Similarly, if you're focusing on shoulders, I want you to focus on shoulder press and military press. Just focus on the basic compound movements. You know, put some squats in there, put some hack squats in there for leg days. Maybe for hamstrings, you can do Romanian deadlift. So I want you to focus on using more barbell movements, compound movements, and less gimmicky movements like some people do, and less time on machines. So we just focus on the basic compound movements. Remember, you can usually lift the most weight in compound movements, in these barbell movements, and more weight usually means you're able to sustain and maintain your muscle even though you are in a calorie deficit. So those are my 5 points that I would advise you guys do during Ramadan to make sure that you don't lose any muscle and maybe even gain a little bit of muscle if you're working hard enough and you're actually progressively overloading during Ramadan. So maybe you could actually gain a little bit of muscle. Uh, just make sure your protein levels are good. Make sure you're drinking enough water, and make sure you're getting as much calories as you can get in without going to eating dirty foods. Just focus on good quality whole foods. Focus on drinking milk. Focus on yogurt. Focus on eggs. Focus on if you can get meat, fruits and vegetables, things like that. And I think you will be able to maintain your gains during Ramadan. So that was the video. If you guys liked the video, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and share the video with your friends. And I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.